Hi everyone. So I have something I really want to share with you guys what it really takes to lose the 60 pounds in 8 months, and I've been maintaining it for 13 years now. It's something that's been difficult to break down. So I've been used the day to figure out what it really took me. And I am understand that a lot of you guys are on this channel because you want to have weight loss advice every single week. If especially if you're someone at your heaviest weight, because I used to be at my heaviest weight, I was so frustrated that I was keep losing weight and gaining the same weight back, and it was so frustrating because I remember whenever I'm gonna look myself in the mirror, I was just hating how I look, and I was just embarrassed when people were asking me to go or out for dinner. I couldn't fit the clothes that I really want, so I was just embarrassed. I just said no, and I was jealous of other people who are in amazing shape and what it really took to lose weight. So whenever I was asking them, they would say, "I don't know." So I've really wanted to break down what it really takes, because at the end of the day, if you are on this channel, you are probably just someone who is subscribing to get some weight loss advice. So I'm going to give you that now. So I remember when I was trying to lose weight for the first 3, 4 years, I lost some weight by just eating way less than I usually. Like an Asian kid who's just trying to lose weight is eating like 3 bowls of rice, then 2 bowls of rice, 1 bowl of rice, and then I just hit a plateau, and that sucked. So I eventually just run a lot, and I also lost even more weight. But eventually, I didn't lose any weight no matter what I was doing. I was eating barely nothing. So I was going to the gym. I was so frustrated because I invested into the first fitness coach. He was like a professional bodybuilder telling me that I need to follow this meal plan with figuring out what type of foods that was good. I ate so much chicken breast. I mainly drank a lot of protein, like shakers. That was good, but I had a lot of like I think I was lactose intolerant to that. So maybe it's just drinking too much. And eventually I was just burned out because I don't feel like this approach to having a coach that is not tailored to your needs. You're just giving you some random weight loss plan to follow, and it's difficult to manage your social life, especially if you're someone who's just trying to have a social life and taking your weight loss goal seriously. So I basically just thought that screw it, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm just compromised my whole life. Everything's just surrounding about weight loss, and I had no clue what I was doing. So I was trying another weight loss coach. Even though he was looking like ripped, muscular, I thought, okay, that looks nice. I'll try to understand a bit more about what it really takes. So he gave me a lot of learnings about what kind of protein sources, like lean chicken breast that's better than like drumsticks, and also tuna, salmon, ground beef, like low fat percent, Greek yogurt, and there's also distinguish between like fast digestible carbs, slow digestible carbs. So I was just focusing on that, but still it was only like gave me the right amount of calories to follow and also the protein intake, but it wasn't so specific in regards to how I could manage on my own, like every single week following up. So I didn't have any like weigh-ins every single week. I was just following this plan, and after like a year, I just said, "Fuck it, I'm not seeing any results." Because if you want to lose weight, you have to have a very scientific approach to it, where you are basically just going down into the nitty-gritty of making sure that you have your macro calculator, really, really putting in the numbers that is specifically to you. I was not having no idea about that. So eventually I was focusing on hiring another fitness coach. It was kind of random because I was just going to the gym. Probably a lot of you guys have been thinking, oh man, I'm not seeing any results. I'm just going to the gym, sitting on a bench, just thinking, man, is this really it? Am I going to be fat forever? Am I going to be depressed and looking myself in the mirror and not being confident how I look? It also affects your social life if you don't have a lot of energy. I was very active with doing a lot of sports, and I was feeling that the 30 kilos that I have as overweight was it was not helping me in any sort of way, because I was just feeling like breathless all the time. And I was also feeling that I was not able to fit the clothes that I want, so I didn't feel so attractive, especially when having a girlfriend. You want to feel attractive. And if you honestly tell yourself that you don't feel attracted, how are you going to have like a lot of energy to be there for your girlfriend? So that was something that really bugged me. So I stumbled upon a fitness coach. He wasn't as famous back in the day, but he taught me all about the macros, like figuring out the macro calculator, putting in your age, your gender, your height, your weight, your activity levels. It was so scientific. I've never approached anything like this. From there, I just figured out what my maintenance calories are. Then slowly subtracting with 200 calories. I never figured out what that calorie deficit was. So I was just doing that and also having 45% of my daily calories coming from protein, because when you're in a calorie deficit, your body has two options. It either burns muscles or burns fat. So I was seeing that I was trying something fresh. It was giving a lot of more sense because I tried so many things. I tried the soup diet, keto diet. I was only eating eggs. I was eating a bunch of weird shit that was just mentally fucking myself up with this eating a lot of bacon. It didn't make any sense, and eating too much canned tuna. But I want to have a meal plan that was specific to me, what I like to eat, because if you want to lose weight for a long time, no matter how much weight you have, if you're someone at your heaviest weight, like you want to lose 60 pounds or 100 pounds, you need to take slow and steady, because the more you're eating, the easier it is to just gradually, for example, decreasing the calories with 200 more if you're hitting plateau, and then also increasing your cardio. If you are doing 4 times of cardio a week, you're increasing that to 5 times. Then you're breaking through all these plateaus because you're pushing your body out of the comfort zone. If you're starting like 1,000 calories and your maintenance calories are 2,000, you are hitting a plateau way faster. And the only way for you to lose weight is to decrease either your calories to 800 calories, that barely nothing, or you are going to have to be working out even more steps more. So I was following like 45% of my daily calories come from protein, because I was maintaining my muscle, building more muscle. I was losing way more fat, mostly fat. And a lot of research been showing that if you are just losing weight, you can get like a marathon runner, like very skinny, or you can keep a lot of muscle and build more muscle, so you have that beautiful muscular lean toned body. And that was what I was focusing on. So I was also figuring out that I had to say no to a lot of temptations, because if you're someone going to school or going to family dinners, you are always getting approached with a lot of some temptations. And I was always focusing on, as long as I have my diet in check, like the 45% of daily calories come from protein, and also the calories, 40% of daily calories come from carbs, because having high carbs are so important to recover faster, give you a lot of energy, especially if you are an ambitious professional working a full-time job and you really want to be confident and have a lot of energy talking with the clients at work. And if you feel like you have no carbs, especially after working out where you are mentally drained, you are not having a lot of focus, so you are have struggling with talking with the clients and also being your best self and confident. So I always focusing on having a lot of carbs, like fast digestible carbs, slow digestible carbs, in order to like just have a sustainable blood sugar and energy levels. Because after work, you also want to go for walks. If you have 6,000 steps, you need to complete that. So if you are fairly active at your job, you are using the 6,000 steps, that's going to be very much easier for you guys, instead of just not, if you're just sitting all day, then you after work you also need to spend like 2 hours to maybe an hour to hit your daily steps. So I was just always walking around. I walked to the gym, I walked back, I was just going for a walk after work because I want to have some fresh air and reflect about the day. So these small things were definitely a big game changer for me. And in regards to dealing with hunger, I was drinking a lot of water, 4 or 5 liters of water. I was peeing a lot all the time, but I tried to minimize that after 4 p.m. because I don't want to affect my sleep. Like sleeping 8, 10 hours a day is important for you guys to like lowering your cortisol levels, because cortisol levels, if when it's high, is also due to if you're sleeping very bad. So it can also keep the fat. It's difficult to lose the fat if you have high cortisol levels. So I always try to make my life as simple as possible. And I also know that if you are very driven and you want to have a lot of success with your weight loss journey, it just takes a lot of being being honest with yourself and have your weekly check-ins with your coach, because I tried for myself. I've never lost that amount myself, and just being able to talk with the coach, getting feedback if you're doing on your own is cool. But I tried on my own. I didn't see the results that I want even after a couple of years. Spent like 10, $20,000 on that. I'm not seeing any results, and I didn't get all the learnings that I needed. So I also focusing on scheduling all the workouts in my plan, like 4 or 5 times a week, working out with strength training, focusing on compound movement, like heavy workouts with and afterwards isolation movements. When I was like focusing on scheduling that into my calendar, I was just had to say no to a lot of social activities like going out, drinking late at night. I'm just going home like 10 or 11 o'clock. Just I'm not drinking anymore. Not that much, maybe like once a year or so. But it does help me with focusing on my daily schedule, so I'm not waking up like very late. I'm going to sleep like 10 p.m. or so, and then I can wake up, drink a liter of water, going to the gym, working out. And I know that if you are someone who's trying to lose weight, there are different kinds of ways to do it. I usually use intermittent fasting. I've been doing that for 17 years now, where I have my last meal of the day 10 p.m. and then I wake up 7 a.m. I am drinking a liter of water, and then I work out, go to the gym, work out, and then I break my fast like 12 or 1 p.m. And in order to reducing the hunger levels, it's also helping you with burning a lot more stubborn body fat. So that's definitely been a game changer for me, because when I was using smaller meals 4 or 5 times a day, I was just not seeing faster results with losing stubborn body fat around my abs. But with using intermittent fasting, I'm losing that way faster. And also, I really like to have smaller meals. Like I'm eating 3 times a day, like after working out, my dinner at night 6 p.m., and the last meal is like before I'm going to bed like 9 p.m. I really enjoy like having more delicious food that are higher in calories and not so bland, because eating smaller meals like 4 or 5 times a day can you don't have so many calories to allocate to every meal. If it has to be like it has to be low in fat and low in calories if you want to eat that small amount of meals. But I don't have fucking time to do all this meal prepping, so I just prefer to eat 2 3 big meals a day, and that's it. In regards to like maintaining the weight, so when you are someone who've lost all the weight and it's a gradual process, I was losing 1 pound or 2 pounds a week every single week. I was working out 5 times a week with focusing on compound movements. These are basically just muscle groups where you are targeted at several muscle groups. For example, if you're working out your chest, you're working out the upper part of the chest, the triceps, and it's very demanding. So you're just focusing on 4 sets. I always have a warm-up set where I'm just getting some blood flow out to the muscle, like 10 kilos, and afterwards I'm doing 10 to 12 reps. Then I'm increasing it to 15 kilos for the first set. Then I am trying to increase it. That's called progressive overload, where you're constantly putting your body and your muscle under so much stress, so it just forces itself to break down the muscle tissues. And through the rest and recovery, you are also through your diet rebuilding the muscle tissues, so you are building even more muscle. So the more muscle mass you have, the faster you lose weight. And I also really like that I was doing the cardio after I am working out, where I was using a stationary bike, because I was there's some resistance, so you are burning a lot more calories with doing that. And also 6,000 steps every single day. I know this takes some time, but you can go for a walk with a friend, or you can go with yourself hearing some podcast, for example. That just makes time go way faster. And I also think that you should be aware of that it takes a long time to lose the weight. I was just focusing on setting 12 or 20 weeks aside to like losing the weight, because you're losing 1 pound, 2 pounds every single week. Then you stumble upon some like plateaus. You only know that you have plateaus if you are aware of what it is and the signs of that. And that's why talking with your coach every single week, even sometimes several times a day, to make sure that what you're doing is on the right track. And then sometimes when you are hitting a smaller goals on your weight loss journey, you don't lose 30 pounds like straight. I was focusing on the first 6 months losing 25 kilos, or I think that's 50 pounds or so. And then I was giving my metabolism a rest, where I was ramping up my calories to my maintenance calories on a standstill for 2 weeks to reset my metabolism, because your metabolism is at the beginning of your weight loss journey is high, then it goes slow, and eventually when it goes slow, you are not losing as much weight as possible. And I was also losing some muscle mass, and that's just inevitable. But eventually I wanted to build more muscle, because I could see that all the fat that was decreasing around my body was just revealing that I didn't have so much muscle. So I went on a mini bulk, where I was increasing my calories with 125 or 200 calories, and then I was slowly like gaining as much lean muscle mass as possible with very little fat. And that was helping me. For example, I did that, I think was 8 weeks, and also giving myself a rest from all the dieting. And after that, I was just going slowly into the calorie deficit that I had before I was dieting. And then I was just losing weight even faster, because I had a lot more muscle mass, and having more muscle mass makes you feel that you are losing weight faster, burning fat faster, and you also look way more full. Because if you are someone who wants to have a small waist, big broad shoulder, big arms, thighs, also for a woman, that's something that calls hourglass figure. So that just helps with you just having like cycles of weight loss and building muscle, because you can adjust along the way how your body looks, where you need to build more muscle. And in regards to maintaining the weight, I think that I basically just eat the same meal almost every single day, because I really enjoy it. I don't think food is something that I'm like emotionally invested into, because it's just fueling my body, just like a car is getting like some gas to run. I treat my body as a temple, where I am very aware of what I'm putting into it, because I want to live a long, healthy, active lifestyle. And if you are someone who are not tracking every single thing that you are eating on a constant basis, it makes it very difficult for you to like tracking your weight loss progress. I was weighing myself every single day, and also taking body measurements and pictures every 4th week, so I could see the changes in my body. And it's so fun to see that I'm very like detailed with all the I like to be a nerd when it comes to science. So I'm just tracking all the numbers down. It's so fun to see, and I'm just teaching my clients doing the same, because I also want to educate you with what kind of foods that are good, what kind of foods that are bad. For example, if you are having a maintenance calories 2500 calories, and you need to decrease that to 200 calories, and you are getting a lot of high quality protein, eggs, tuna, ground beef, low calories, low fat, lean chicken breast, and you also want to be aware of the kind of carbs that you are consuming. There are fast digestible, slow digestible carbs. If you are getting all your carbs from fast digestible carbs like white pasta, you are going to feel so hungry because the fast digestible carbs like white pasta is just burning a lot faster. If you have slow digestible carbs and high in fibers, 20 or 40 grams of fibers every single day, the amount of there's energy in food, so the energy is just releasing very slow compared to when it's fast digestible carbs. So I changed over to brown pasta or brown bread, like whole wheat bread, and yeah, a lot of veggies. But I also know that sometimes it could be a bit bland just eating the same things all day. So I change sometimes, like maybe once a week I'm eating like something else. But that's just basically it. And if you want to go out with your friends, you also need to know something that's called flexible dieting. Maybe you know that as if it fits your macros, where you are basically just having the same calories you're eating for the same day, like 2,500 calories to be in a 200 calorie deficit. 45% of your daily calories come from protein, 40% of your daily calories come from carbs, and then you are just changing it up. For example, when I'm fasting like 12 p.m., I'm eating most of my calories like from protein, so I'm hitting my protein sources like 75%. Then I'm drinking a lot of water, fasting. Later, I'm not fasting, I'm drinking more water, so I feel full because more veggies and protein helps you feel fuller, and there's low calories in that. And at the end of the day, like for the dinner when I'm going out with friends, I could be thinking that I want a cheeseburger, fries. It's sometimes a bit difficult to estimate how much oil and like butter they've been putting into the burger, and it's just an estimate. But like once a week I can do that because I want to have a mental break from all this dieting and just give myself some other foods. And sometimes also increasing your metabolism can be a good thing by increasing with 500 or 700 calories to make sure that you are not depriving yourself. The metabolism is functioning the way that when you are losing weight in the beginning, you are losing weight and the metabolism is slowing down. And if you shock your body with a free meal or refeed, you are increasing it with like more carbs. You are going to ramp up your metabolism, and the next couple of days you can see that you're losing weight even faster just by having a break. But you also want to damage control it. So let's imagine that I already had 2,500 calories to be in a calorie deficit. I already ate 500 calories, and then I have 2,000 calories like for the last meal. So if you're like going balls to the walls and you are eating like 2,000 calories you are already in the range of not losing weight because you're in a calorie deficit. But it's a bit difficult to estimate how much oil and butter they're putting into the burgers. So you can like shoot for like 500 calories more, just an estimate. But that will just give you that free meal that you want, and you're also having a bank of calories that you can eat and not feeling guilty. And a couple of signs that you're actually losing weight is that the next couple of days you can feel recharged. There's not so much fat around your muscle. It feels fuller, like the skin of of your body is more tightened around the muscle because you're getting fueled with more carbs. So that's just a really good way to see that you are losing weight. And if you have more veins, that's also a sign, and also recovering faster. But these are some of the things that I've been thinking that I wanted to share with you guys, because it's really important to know what really takes to lose weight. And it takes money, dedication, and also a lot of patience. Sometimes I had weeks where I was so frustrated that I hit a weight loss plateau again, but I would never be where I am today without having a coach on my side who can talk with me, educate me on what I was doing. And if you're someone who feel like you need help and you're at your heaviest weight and you really feel like you're struggling with not seeing the results that you want, just like I was, and you want to become the most healthy version of yourself, there's just like my clients, there's a link in the description and in the comment section where you can book a call with me, apply for coaching, and see if we are fit together. I'd love to help you. Looking forward to talk with you. Bye.